Fairly recently, I had a couple of moms reach out to me. They're well educated with masters and PhDs and my age, so at the beginning of their careers as well. And they wanted to know, should I do a data science bootcamp to increase my hireability? So let's talk about that. Bootcamps are an amazing way to learn about data science and machine learning related topics, but they're not for everyone. So here's everything you should consider before joining a bootcamp and paying a lot of money for it. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jesper and I have a PhD in applied machine learning and now work as a scientist in machine learning. And data science has recently become a really hot topic, and there are many ways to learn it, and some cost a lot of money. Like some bootcamps cost more than a traditional college degree, especially if you don't live in the US or the UK. In this video, I'll go into what bootcamps actually are and what it takes to make it in a bootcamp, the advantages and the challenges of a bootcamp, and finally how you choose the right one and how you actually apply for a bootcamp. Data science bootcamps are one of the most effective ways of getting into data science. And you'll usually learn something about data analytics, data visualization, and machine learning. And usually the educators are seasoned professionals. They are data scientists, they are machine learning engineers, and they have now taken on education to bring this topic closer to you. Data science bootcamps are built to bring you a new skill set that you can directly use on the job. And they can be super challenging and very difficult, but also very rewarding. There are many different types of bootcamps, and some are focused on people with degrees, some are focused on people without degrees. Generally, data science bootcamps are a great way to round out your education. If you already have a science degree, then you can hone these data science skills and enhance your portfolio for this great new skill that is in high demand. When you think of data science, you probably think about like a PhD in statistics or analysts that pore over the reams of data for days and really try to make sense of it all. But is that really what data science is all about? And that is where bootcamps come in. Bootcamps often give you the ability to learn the tools and skills of data scientists in an accelerated time frame. One of the more interesting questions that I've been asked lately is whether well-educated moms should pursue a data science degree from a bootcamp. I think this is indicative of a larger trend at the moment, that people are looking to reframe their career and maybe steer into a new direction and use the tools that they have and enhance them with something they don't have yet. In a data science bootcamp, you'll have to learn how to become a data scientist very quickly. And as if that isn't hard enough, you'll have to build a portfolio in almost no time. First of all, it takes money to enroll. And data science bootcamps can be really expensive, especially in Germany where education is free. A 5-figure sum to pay to get into a bootcamp is a serious investment. Additionally, if you consider that often there are state financial aid systems that bootcamps don't have access to, this can really be a detractor. And money often is a motivator, but also a source of anxiety. And for some, it can simply be prohibitive if you can't afford this type of money or can't risk this kind of investment. Second, it takes time. And while data science bootcamps really condense the information and really put everything in the shortest time frame possible, it can take up to a year to get this kind of degree of very intense learning. And in addition to all the other obligations that you have in your life, this can also be prohibitive because it is very intense. Different bootcamps have different technical prerequisites. You usually need a computer and often need internet access, especially if it's remote. You definitely need internet access. And then on top of that, in my opinion, a technical degree or a scientific degree really helps you with the kind of thinking that you need in dissecting data. But on top of that, some data science bootcamps require you to already know programming. There are other bootcamps that will teach you programming, but this is important for you to consider and for you to check out before you apply to one. The biggest advantage of bootcamps really is their focus on application, jobs, and the structure that they provide for students. You could teach yourself data science, and you can do it all on your own, build your own curriculum, projects, capstones and all that. Or you could use something like the new curriculum by FreeCodeCamp that is now being developed. But it can be much easier having a mentor guide you through what you're supposed to learn, provide you structure, and they will also be able to spot your mistakes much easier than you could on your own and get you out of a pinch. The accelerated learning in bootcamps can really give people motivation to stay on track, and with daily distractions, be it ADHD, a newborn at home, or just life during COVID lockdown, those can really derail you. And having set external deadlines and a curriculum can really give you the structure to finish that learning and finish that degree. I'm fairly skeptical of this, but some bootcamps come with job guarantees. And definitely read reviews and do your due diligence. Don't just blindly trust reviews on the internet, that doesn't work anymore. But yeah, having something like that, having a placement guarantee is definitely a nice insurance, as well as a kind of a carrot for your work. As a student in a data science bootcamp, you'll be required to learn and solve a lot of complex problems. Some of these problems will be in the field of statistics, but most of them will be in machine learning, which is more applied and a little bit less mathy. However, data science bootcamps are known to be a little bit easy on the math, so be aware of that. And you should be aware of the challenges that you'll likely face the further you get into data science and machine learning. The first challenge, as already mentioned, is going to be that you'll have to learn some of the underlying statistical concepts. These are fairly simple. Like for data science and machine learning, you actually don't need that much statistics. It's relatively approachable. That is because we often get computers to do the job for us, but that brings us to the next challenge. You'll have to learn how to program these computers and get them to do the calculations that you want to do. Get them to do the awesome visualizations, and with all these amazing libraries these days, it's gotten much easier. Remember that most bootcamps are applied. They want to teach you applied job skills, so that really means that you will always have a goal in mind, which makes it much easier. Be aware in your application process that there are some that are more theory heavy, so if you're into that, you can definitely find that. But yeah, generally you always have a goal in mind. The main challenge that I see is motivation. Committing to a year or up to a year of highly intensive learning is going to be exhausting, especially if you have other commitments. Like the moms that asked me, they have huge commitments, so saying that they commit to this kind of learning is a huge step and has to be weighed very carefully. However, what they also do, and what you should seek if you are engaging in a bootcamp, is a good support system. So your husbands or wives, partners, they should really have your back in this and be able to support you, especially during exam time, and be able to pull their weight in this. And that means you can possibly avoid something called course burnout, where you don't finish because you run out of steam. This may vary, but in my opinion, the key factors in deciding for or against a bootcamp are the length, the prerequisites, the curriculum, and the price. There are additional benefits like a job guarantee or online only, and those can really influence your decision if you're in a toss-up, but the main things that I really would absolutely focus on is what you'll learn, how long it'll take you, and what the price tag on that entire thing is. It's also really good to have a few favorites, because some data science bootcamps can be really competitive to get into, and you don't want to miss out on this year's cohort just because you only applied to one or two and didn't get in. Generally, you'll want the data science bootcamp to cover the software fundamentals and programming. Then you'll want it to go into experiment design, then work your way through machine learning. Then you want to have some kind of data visualization in there, And of course, to round it all off, you want some project work. That's at least the kind of curriculum that I followed in my Skillshare course. You can find it in the description. Now, the application process varies from school to school. And usually there are 3 steps, sometimes more, definitely. And additional steps are quite common because they try to be exclusive. But the 3 general steps are that you have a pre-screening application, kind of like a job application. Then you have a coding challenge if there is a coding part involved. And then you have a common interview to see if you are a fit for the program. It's important to consider that each step in this process is getting harder and harder and more time intensive. So you really have to know if you are willing to put in the work. Data bootcamps have really grown in popularity over time. There are a number of reasons why you might be interested in learning data science, but one thing is for certain. Data scientists are in high demand at the moment, so it might be a great career move. And coding can be tough, but with a little guidance, the process can be a lot easier. And yeah, in the end, data science can be a really fulfilling career. So if this helped you, let me know in the comments, and good luck on your journey.